Welcome to Leading Leaders Podcast, 5-minute videos, 5 days a week. The only possible benefit to leading from an echo chamber is to pet the ego of the leader. That's the only good to come of it. The only good to come of an echo chamber when you're the leader is to pet the ego of the leader. Subscribe now for our extensive video library of leadership lessons promoting faith, family, and freedom. I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. It happens everywhere. It happens in politics. It happens in big corporate America. It happens in small business and solopreneurs. It happens in families. Usually when there's a strong, opinionated, powerful, and effective leader, it happens even more. A dad who's almost narcissistic, or actually is narcissistic, someone who just pounds their fist and almost leads in a tyrannical way. When that happens, it tends to be that they get their own way. They get what they want. And even if it's subconsciously, the people around them are like, well, that works for them, I'm going to do the same thing. And so people around the leader began to mirror the successful habits of the leader, good, bad, or otherwise. Eventually, over time, they not only mirror the good, successful, powerful, dominating habits of the leader, but they'll begin to mirror their ideologies as well. They'll think, well, if those thoughts worked for them, if that got them what they want, if that kept them in power, if that gave them the control, then that's exactly what I want in my life. I need to think like they think. I need to talk like they talk. I need to behave like they behave because, success leaves clues. You should follow them. And there is some truth to that. But there's also some danger in that. Right now there's a series of lawsuits going on because pharmaceutical companies have sold drugs that contain opiates. And the opioid addiction crisis has killed close to 500,000 people since they became available in the forms that they are. In fact, there are entire communities where the selling of opioids, prescription drugs that belong to you, but you're going to sell them to somebody else, has become an industry, a multi-million-dollar industry, a criminal underground industry. But because the ability to sell these and make money has made pharmaceutical companies a lot of money, the echo chamber within the leadership of the companies has said, look at the profit, look at the profit, look at the profit. Well, you look at the profit, and their decisions have been driven by the profit. Well, the challenge now is the detriment to society is almost unstoppable. It's a huge tidal wave that's got to be pushed back. So the lawsuits are doing that. What does the lawsuit say? Well, kind of like when you think of the Supreme Court judges or any other court, there are dissenters and then there are everybody else who agrees. The challenge when you live in an echo chamber, like a large pharmaceutical company or a nonprofit organization where no one wants to push back against the leadership, everyone feels like, well, my job could be in jeopardy, my career could be in jeopardy. If I get blacklisted in this industry, I'm done. Then you just kind of go along to get along, whether you actually agree or not. You give up your own ideas, you give up your own ideologies, you give up your own voice to fit in, because nobody wants to not fit in, right? Whether it's a funny accent. I travel from Texas to places all over the country and to Cuba and Brazil and the Congo, and I have a funny accent when I get to those places. Nobody likes to have a funny accent compared to everybody else around you. You don't fit in that way. Nobody likes to have ideologies that everybody looks at you and goes, what? What made you think that? So we all try to go along to get along to some degree. But when a leader surrounds himself with people like that, they used to call them the yes men. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll do exactly what you say, even if it's stupid, even if it's wrong. And that is the danger of an echo chamber. See, here's a bigger challenge with the echo chamber, and that is in this world of social media, it's really easy for social media to go, yeah, I don't like what you said, beep, and you're gone. Your whole platform is gone. At least for 24 hours, you're like grounded. Or I have friends who say things that sometimes I don't even agree with them, but it doesn't mean they're not valid. But they'll get 7 to 10 days of what you would call Facebook jail, where they've been taken down and their profile can't be found and they're all blocked up. And, well, they've been silenced because they're dissenters, because their opinions and their expressions don't line up with those who have the power to run the website to decide whether or not you have a voice. But did you know that 50 different attorneys general are now pursuing an investigation to ask the question, has Google as an entity manipulated the search results in such a way that you only find what they want you to find? Well, the truth of the matter is, it's always been that way. It's called a database. You will find what they put in front of you. You could search kumquats and find only pineapples if that's what they wanted, because they control the database and there's nothing you can do about that. But the reality is, that's being surrounded by an echo chamber. Who's going to tell you when your ideas are bad? Who's going to tell you when your ideas are wrong? Who's going to tell you when you've made a bad choice if you only surround yourself with people who agree with you on everything? Last point, AT&T currently is in a little bit of a squabble with one of their largest investors, an investor who holds $85 billion worth of controlling interest, or worth of interest in AT&T, according to the stats that I read. $85 billion. And this organization, a hedge fund, said, hang on, you guys are doing way too much buying up. You got all these properties they're not profitable anymore. You need to stop. You really, seriously, we're investors. We're looking at what you're doing. You need to stop. Ironic little twist of truth there. That $85 billion represents 1.2% of the overall value of AT&T. How much voice do you think they have? About as much voice as we have in Google search or Facebook dialogue. 1.2%, or less. The danger of being a leader, whether you're an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, the leader of a large nonprofit, a leader of a corporate organization, or a political party. The danger of an echo chamber is that there's nobody there that you would trust to tell you you're wrong. What if you are? I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.
Leadership team. If attitude is going to have a deep impact on your business and bottom line, make it a positive attitude with a positive impact. Visit jlorennorris.com/attitude hack